Well, jumps time, and it feels like literally forever ago.
Um,
You took the best notes.
I can't think. I can't think of anything that happened last time.
Nope, nothing of note, nothing noteworthy at all. What
It was one of those bottle episodes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a bottle episode.
Yeah.
does that mean?
Where the whole thing's contained in a bottle and nothing happens.
Oh, it's
Oh,
usually like one simple area. It's like low budget.
Yeah.
Like the production really just wasn't there for that episode.
Yeah.
I had to get one out.
Yeah.
Uh,
When you describe it that way, it makes it sound like it was a bad session.
Like if
Yeah.
It wasn't.
there's an episode of Community that explains it very well.
Yeah, we had this conversation when we watched that.
well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Abed said this is our bottle.
okay.
It was very meta.
highlights that I remember. It was a shopping day.
Was a shopping day for the group with no money.
Yeah.
The group split. Yes. Yeah. I believe Elle had her first shoplifting experience.
Probably first of many.
There's an opening for a rogue.
Maybe. Multi-class it. And then you guys kind of have this huge kind of when you bargain to try and get like potions and stuff. While the rest of the gang were shopping there, Apoc and Basil went off to can't remember what her name was, but we met with
It was the spice rack.
no, the spice rack is where you guys went.
Oh,
Yeah, you went with Cam.
Tried and
Apoc
true.
was with them.
But Basil and Cam went to speak to the lady who potentially saw Pip. While at that store, kind of like learned about where potentially Pip and another Gerbine, possibly one of Basil's sisters, where they last were seen traveling north to Alderheart. Some real cool stuff about a magic painting that Pip painted. And then on the way out, Cam acquired the two like friendship bracelets or something. Like essentially, like if you have one, you can always know where the other is.
Yeah.
contingency band.
Contingency.
Band.
And we ended the session with kind of like a heartfelt kind of moment between Cam and Apoc, slipping in an item. I think it was disclosed after the session ended what it was, but slipping in one of the bands into Apoc's bag and then disappearing. I mean, catch you later, and then that's it.
Okay, random weird pull. Has anybody seen the movie Alive? Just me?
Wait.
I love it.
Again, I'm like, okay, I need to think of all the movies I've ever seen.
It's like from the 80s. It's got Ethan Hawke. It's a fantastic movie.
Oh God, is it the movie with the plane crash and
Yes, stop there.
Oh, okay.
Stop
Yeah.
there. But in that movie, there's two pairs of like little like baby shoes, and he gives the shoe to the other to his friend. He's like, when these shoes are together again, you know everything will be okay. So like that's the scene it reminded me.
That's your inspiration.
Damn.
I love Alive. It's such a good movie.
Dang.
Watch it over supper.
I think I've seen it actually. I think
I think I know what. Yeah, I'm not watching it.
I know what I very much at least know the premises. Premise.
Is it bad that I thought about that scene as when Kevin McAllister gives the turtle dove to the pigeon lady in the second Home Alone movie?
That's a much better pull.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh.
That's what I pictured.
All right, they're turtle dove bracelets.
They're turtle
Yeah.
dove bracelets.
Turtle.
There you go.
Also a good
But
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
also a good movie. Very true. But yeah, we will pick up right there as Cam, I believe, says, catch you later. and vanishes, leaving the four of you standing on the main perch area in the treehouse city that is Brackenmill.
Did he just leave?
Yeah, did anyone see that? Because my notes say that Cam pulled Apoc aside, so I don't know if the rest of us are with it.
Yeah, I think
I believe you're all there. You all would have seen it. You just might not have heard what Cam said to Apoc specifically, or what he slipped.
You just heard what Apoc said though, and it was, did he just leave?
I'm sure he'll pop up again. He always does this, right?
Can Elle do a perception check to see if she can get any sense of where invisible Cam is going?
Sure, you can go ahead and make a perception check.
What happened? You were with him?
It just got just a 15.
Okay.
You're looking around, Elle, and all you can really see are people kind of, we're getting into like the sort of early to mid-afternoon, so around that like 2 o'clock mark. And you just see people in Brackenmill kind of walking along. You're in the main thoroughfare, so just around the corner is the Sunny Silkworm. To one branch off to your left is kind of where the two shops are, and to your right is the staircase that sort of leads down to the farmers market where you were, as well as some of the homes here in Brackenmill. So you see people walking about, you see them trading, you still see the farmers market is starting to come to a winding close, and the sort of little fields right beneath the treehouse, but you do not see Cam anymore.
Speaking out of character, like out of game, can you guys remind me, like, have our characters talked about like the whole Pip thing? Want to try and find Pip? Or
so it's only been you and Cam who got the information about the painting. This was just as the two groups were reconvening. So one coming from the Tried and True where you guys were, the other group coming from the Spice Rack.
But like before this, would the group have known like, oh, Pip being my sister was also like that Pip is my sister, and also Pip was Cam's fiance or wife?
So I
don't
recall. I don't think so. Apoc, I think knows a little bit, but I think that was private.
Okay. Sir Basil will probably be like, since up until now, like him and Cam have not like disclosed a lot of this stuff. He'll just be thinking like, oh yeah, it's just Cam doing his regular shenanigans. So he won't speak up. He'll just be like thinking about, what he learned in the shop.
Right, as Basil sort of stays quiet, what are the rest of you doing?
Oops.
Are we just standing outside one of the shops?
Yep,
You're standing in the main like common space. So kind of think of it as like the you can kind of think of it as like the heart of the Byward Market. So kind of right in that where there's usually like musicians and buskers and stuff. That's where you are. The markets and the shops are kind of all around you or bustling down that one main corridor. The inn is behind you.
I imagine Mrs. Q's like initially while Apoc and Cam are having their side combo, she's probably just like going through her shopping bag very excitedly with all of the stuff that she bought. And just, I do that when I go shopping. I'm like, I was like, oh, I got this cool thing and that cool thing, and checking it's still there.
Georgina, are you role playing future Georgina?
Yes. Yes, she is.
Absolutely.
How did you know? And then I think she would probably notice that Cam is not part of the group.
Yeah, you look up and there's only 3 of you, plus yourself.
I say, Apoc, where's Cam?
Oh, he just said see you later. Did he tell you guys he was going somewhere?
Going somewhere. I mean, you know Cam, he disappears one moment, comes back later. He's probably just doing one of his tricks again.
That felt different though. Insight check
I was the inside check.
on what like fucking lie this guy's spewing.
Basil?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, make an insight check. Basil, either a deception or a persuasion check. You don't have to say which one.
Oh, really? Okay, let's see. It's +0 for both. So here we go.
There's an 18.
So I rolled an 18.
18. I mean, he's Basil. He's the most trustworthy one of the group.
He never tells me when he leaves though. He just leaves. This time he told me. It feels weird.
Cut me deep, Sean. They cut me real deep.
If he's gone somewhere, he's gonna come back. He's gotta come back. Maybe he went to go see how Brenna and Ajax are doing. Does anyone know where they are right now?
Yes. Before he left, he said something like, well, now that the bandit thing's done, where do we head next? And I said, maybe we go back, like, the big tree area.
Your volume's kind of like cutting in.
Oh, sorry. I said something about going back to Alderheart. You know, we got that whole fire thing going on. That's when he said, see you later. Or see you around. I forget the word. It was like 3 minutes ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, by which point he's probably far enough away that we can't even do anything about it.
So we'll say, I'm sure he'll pop up again like he normally does. There's important things he'll say there's important things we still have to do together. And just kind of like looks at the group, kind of like, don't need to worry.
That feels like there's something you know. There's what important thing do you and Cam have to do?
So Basil will kind of just like fidget, thinking about what to say. And he'll just say, well, we're a group. We travel together.
That's not an answer. What do you know?
Why are you so suspicious of me?
Because you're acting so suspicious.
This is the most suspicious I've known Basil to be.
Be a straight shooter. Stop with this dilly-dallying.
I don't know where Cam went, but I know he'll be back. He gave me his word.
So then he said that he was going to you?
No, I don't know where he went.
How could he give you his word that he would be back?
What have I got myself into?
Okay, you and Cam have unfinished business. He said he was going somewhere and he promised he would be back. And you don't know anything. You didn't ask any questions.
I have no idea where Cam went. I didn't know that Cam was going anywhere. All I know is that he'll be back.
Outside of game, did Apoc know that Cam gave him a thing? Or did Cam just put it in his bag?
No.
No, it felt like his bag, Russell.
Yeah, he said like, here's the thing. Check it out when you have some free time. That's what he said.
Okay. Mrs. Q said, did he give you anything, Apoc?
I don't think he actually said anything. I just think it was just something he put in there
Okay.
that I would stumble upon later at whatever time.
Okay.
I don't think Apoc knows anything about that.
Mrs. Q says, let it be known that Mrs. Q doesn't like it when her people just disappear, even if it's just for a minute or if it's for a long time. If I'd known he was going on a trip, I would have packed him some snacks.
Well, how do we know that this is like a
Well, you
trip?
got me all worried with your
Apoc got you
You're-
worried.
inconspicuity.
I just said that he'll probably pop up like he normally does. He's probably off.
You said you and him had unfinished business and that he would be back.
No. I said that if you're worried about him just leaving us, he wouldn't do that.
As the adults are arguing, Elle's gonna try to slip away down to the market to see if Cam went that way. She's she doesn't care right now. She just wants to find Cam.
Okay. You can go ahead and make a stealth check if you're trying to be stealthy about it, or if you're just leaving, that's also fine.
She's gonna try to be a little stealthy.
I can just imagine seeing her we're sort of arguing, and she's just like, "I'm going now." And just
Yeah.
we're so busy. We're just don't even pay attention.
I mean, I rolled a 14, but I do like Elle just being like, "Okay, I'm gonna go look for Cam." Cool, and then just walks away while everyone is just kind of debating amongst themselves.
It's just like a little voice on the wind as you just slither your way very, very light-footed down the staircase that wraps around the main tree that you're on to get to that farmer's market-esque place. This was where the gathering was, where you first met Quill, the first kind of entrance you had to Brackenmill. This is now the third time you've been here, as this is where the farmer's market is still going on.
We're struggling to hear you, Andrea.
Oh, I can turn this up. She's pretty far away from the mic.
I can also...
Here. Wait, no, we can crank this up. Wait, this got bumped. No, our mic actually got, that's super low.
Is this better?
Oh,
Can you hear me? Okay. So you're just able to very light-footed make your way down the ladder of the main tree of Brackenmill. And just as a reminder, this place where the farmer's market is the first entrance to Brackenmill, where you guys first came in from the north, where you first met Quill, where he was telling his story to some of the people of Brackenmill. This is kind of like their main hub. They have this area on the ground and the area where the party is currently bickering at each other. The farmer's market is starting to kind of wind down. It's getting into that point where a couple stalls have closed up completely. The others don't have as much to sell as a lot of their wares have been bought and purchased. As you're in the farmer's market and just starting to look around, it's been a couple beats. You've been having a discussion. It's been a couple beats. As you start to look around, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary that would indicate Cam's presence in this area.
Nobody being arrested?
There's nobody being arrested, no.
Nothing
is
stolen.
Disappearing from the shops. There's everything on the table is staying on the table currently. But you are in this space, kind of just looking around. You see a few people sort of, are you lost? You okay? You look a little...
Yeah, I'm fine. And she's gonna not really interact with anyone. And she's gonna kind of just look around, increasingly getting a little more agitated to the point where she's just gonna start looking around the different stalls. Cam, this isn't funny.
Oh,
Cam, we have adventures. Just calling out to see if maybe he's hiding from her or playing a game.
I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
What?
Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my save? Where are you? Wait, where is it up here? Why can't I find it? Ridiculous. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I have a +5 to my wisdom. I rolled a 2, but 5, so a 7.
Okay. As the three of you on the trellis are still kind of having your mid-conversation, it's kind of winding down. Apoc's pointing a finger at Basil. You don't know where he went? Elle, on the ground in the farmer's market, you're starting to yell Cam's name, getting a little bit of attention. And as you're turning in a circle, just trying to see something, the grass around your feet starts to sway, and then starts to sway a bit faster and a bit faster and a bit faster. You start to see any like cloth on the tables are starting to flare up as these gusts of wind are starting to kind of pull at the area around you. In your sort of anxious state, you're not as aware of it as you might normally be. And as you're starting to turn more and more, the three of you on the upper deck are starting to notice these as the tree is starting to shift and the boards beneath your feet are starting to flex and bow and flex and bow. What are you doing?
What's going on, guys? What's happening now?
It's starting to pull kind of at your cloak, Basil, that you have. It's kind of yanking at your neck where it's attached to your armor.
Trying to get it under control. Looking around the group, I noticed that Elle isn't there. Where's Elle?
We lost another one?
She couldn't have gone far.
Okay, let's go. We need to go find her. Apoc just heads out.
All right.
Looking for Elle.
You're like, I mean, make a perception check, since you don't technically know which direction she went.
Would we be able to tell?
13.
Is it just like this wind and like the weather that we're seeing? Is it just like it's all around us, or does it seem like it's coming from a source, like it's coming from below us? So we would naturally go look there, or
so it's coming in waves.
okay.
If you can think of it, you know how wind affects rain, where you can almost see it kind of going like this and moving. That's how it feels, where it's kind of hitting you in one direction and then hitting you in the face in the other direction. And as it starts to kind of pick up, you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
As it starts to kind of pick up, it's getting harder to kind of keep your eyes open, and you're starting to hear the, what's that? What's going on? As people around you are starting to just kind of like grab onto their cloaks and putting their hands. One older raptor sort of just stumbles and is picked up by their companion on one of the rope bridges. With a 13, you are able to kind of, through the wind, see your 12-year-old companion spinning around in circles.
Elle, we have to get inside.
Are you yelling from the top?
No, I'm rushing down.
Can we make our way?
Yeah, we're all running
towards her?
down to her, I think.
So just make an acrobatics or athletics check as you are trying to force your way through the wind to approach the epicenter of this.
All of us?
All of you who are trying to get to Elle.
Oh, that's a
You can do whatever you want.
I rolled a 25.
Okay, this is Q.
18.
19.
18.
18. Okay, so we have a nat 20, 25, and an 18. Basil, you are what's yours total? 23 acrobatics?
25.
25, yeah.
Oh.
23?
23.
Okay.
Yeah. You can, it's right there.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So Basil, as you are the first to approach right before Apoc does, you are able to, it's torrential at this point, this close to Elle on the ground. You can see that some of the denizens of the farmer's market, they're gone. Whatever wares were there, they're gone. The tables have been flipped up. It is concentrated. You are getting the buffets. This is a storm of wind in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
it's concentrated for right now, but as you fight through it, you're able to just barely make it and approach Elle, and you see your 12-year-old companion spinning in a circle. Elle, you are now aware of what is going on around you. It's not pulling at your clothes. You're in a state of like the eye of the storm. But you now notice that there is nobody around you in this farmer's market anymore. Basil, you're able to reach Elle. Apoc, you're able to reach Elle. Mrs. Q, you're naturally a little bit on the slow side as you waddle your way in and are fighting the wind a bit more, but you will be there the next round.
Can I just gently tackle Elle over?
I was wondering if one of you were going to do it.
Well, okay, I was picturing it kind of like
Yeah.
what's that scene in Avatar the Last Airbender when like he goes back to the Southern Air Temple and like he realizes that they're all dead, and then he just like has a freak out, and then Katara has to like slowly like through the wind kind of reach out to him to calm him down. I feel like it's like that. Ow, ow, and try to reach her.
The closer you get to Elle, she's still calling out Cam's name, and you can see that she is crying. She is sobbing.
Freaking Cam.
Would you like to tackle Elle?
Yeah, I still do.
Make an athletics check. Elle, you can make an athletics or acrobatics check for a contested grapple. I'm going to say for you, though, it's going to be a disadvantage because you are not expecting this.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you gently tackle someone?
Like you kind of tackle, but you roll so they don't.
Yeah.
It's like when you're not trying to hurt the quarterback.
I was gonna say like the New York Giants, all games,
Yeah.
all games Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's acrobatics for me?
Acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
I'm gonna do acrobat. I rolled a 19 and an 18, and I have +4 to acrobatics.
Jeez, girl.
Okay, what did you roll total?
I rolled an 18. I thought that was decent.
Jeez. Okay. So Apoc, you are trying to fight, and it's almost a slow-mo run as you go to try and gently tackle Elle. The only thing you're able to do is kind of put both hands on her shoulders.
So it is like the New York Giants from Saturday.
Elle, you feel two hands on your shoulders as you're currently facing away from whoever it is that is grabbing you.
Wake up.
But you do hear "wake up" in the creepiest way.
That wasn't supposed to be creepy.
Elle's gonna try to shrug off whoever has grabbed her and just is yelling, "No! No, this isn't fair!"
Can Sir Basil try and like hug her? Just like just hug her.
You just want to go up and hug her?
Yeah.
The flailing child.
Yeah, if Elle is flailing, this is not going to be a grapple. This is instead going to be a dex check. I'm going to make it a dex check to see if you can actually grab onto her.
So should I just roll it and I add whatever my
your dexterity is? And Mrs. Q, you will be getting there this round.
Yeah, super slow.
I missed something about 17.
17. With Apoc sort of hands on Elle's shoulder, Elle is flailing, but you are able to make it through and grab. 17 was what I gave it as its DC. You are able to make it through and just. I think you probably come up to Elle's maybe like mid chest.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she's
still a
taller.
12-year-old, but she's still pretty short. So you're able to give her a hug right around the middle.
And as Sir Basil kind of like wraps his arms around her, he'll probably because it's really loud, he'll yell out like, "It's okay. We're here. You don't need to be sad." And he just keeps repeating that just to make sure that she can hear him through the wind and everything.
You do hear this, Elle.
You're here now, but no one ever stays. Everybody always leaves me. He was gonna take me to the avium.
Oh,
We could still go to the AVM.
But why did he have to leave?
Ask this guy.
Why are you making me the Basil's just gonna almost kind of like just hold on a little tighter and say, we're not going anywhere. We're here right now. And just try and just keep holding her.
This is Q. If you want to do anything, you are there now.
Finally,
give her a
holy
cookie.
smokes. Forever.
Here's a good berry.
Here's a good berry.
I was trying to see if there's anything
Courtney.
to do.
To like calm me down or something.
Yeah, I don't have any sedatives. So,
Sedatives.
Mrs. Q pulls out a tranquilizer gun.
Yeah.
Just ready.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I'm tired of these fucking kids.
You're just like, now stand still, dear.
Apoc tackles Elle while Mrs. Q applies the chloroform.
Get in the van.
Oh my gosh.
you guys are the worst. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything particularly helpful with my spells, but Mrs. Q, I guess she just waddles up in the midst of this like swirling air and everyone holding on to her, and just like, if possible, I'm not quite sure how everyone is.
Well,
This
I'm
pile
sorry.
of people.
I think Apoc is holding her from the back and Basil has her from the front.
Yeah, a belly hug, you know.
Mrs. Q just sort of like waddles up and puts her hand on Elle's cheek and just holds it there and says something meaningful.
This is
Fine.
She says hurt doesn't have to be forever, and just stands there and waits.
I'm not sure if Elle is quite wise enough to understand what you just said, but I think with the touch on her face, I think just kind of helps her realize that there are 3 people here all holding on to her, and she's just gonna just break down. So like she just like falls into all of them. She's still crying, but I think she's calming down a little bit.
As it seems that your friends have finally been able to reach you in your state, and you turn from this panic into this sadness collapsing into them, there is this of wind that just gusts out from your core, Elle. All of you feel it kind of like impact your chest. You have to take a bit of a step back as you try to hold your ground against it. You see, as the dust kind of settles, all 3 of you clustered around this 12-year-old's Luma. You can see, I want to call it ground zero, where the grass has been flattened in a sphere around the 3 of you. There are no more fixtures, no more stalls here from the farmer's market, but there is this silence that now falls over the space around you. There's no more wind through the trees. There's no more wind through the grass. It is as still as it was before. And the silence is only broken by the sobs of the 12-year-olds laying underneath you. As you all kind of like take in your surroundings, sitting around with Elle, what you do notice, the handkerchief that Elle normally wears is gone, to reveal what, Steph?
to remember. She
Oh.
has
Another handkerchief.
Line.
another handkerchief. Elle, you might have noticed when she started wearing her hood down, but she has specific markings kind of across her chest. Let's see, where did I have her physical description? She'll have you'll probably also notice the symbol of Rhea on her cloak. But she's got these really distinct like diamond patch of like bright white feathers that kind of don't even look like it's a color a pigeon should have. It's very like luster and pretty, and yeah, but you'll notice it now probably for the first time.
What does the symbol look like?
Rhea, it's 4 arrows with a circle of ivy, and it kind of looks like a compass.
Okay, cool.
But you said that was on your cloak, right? The feathers themselves is just a patch of white.
The feathers are, yeah, they're a difference in her pattern otherwise of her feathers, yeah.
While you are all in this moment together, we are going to cut back into the interior of the Tried and True that Basil and Cam had just left. The proprietor of the shop, Noddy, a short-snouted, very feline-looking white Vulcan, is chatting with one of the other patrons of the shop, a tall-ish, looks actually very similar to Noddy herself, but is just kind of chatting up with the this particular patron as the wind starts to pick up outside of her shop. She kind of looks around, looks back at her patron. What's going on? What's going on? Do you know what's out there?
No clue.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
No clue.
I don't like it when it storms.
Well, it's always storming. That's how you know the great rhythm is working.
I guess. Necessary evil.
Is someone beatboxing out there?
I don't know. This always happens in Brackenmill, though. You should think about moving here.
I was thinking about it.
Really?
Maybe
That would be awesome.
Well, at least I know I've got family here.
That's true. What would your family and Elderheart say?
I think they'd be okay with it. I'd be safe here at least.
That's a good point. Well, you know, if you need a place to bunk, if you need anything like at this point, you hear the creaking of the boards of the shop. And in Nadi's shop, there are library-esque shelves full of stuff, well organized, and they all start to shake. Things are starting to fall off as the whole building itself seems to heave and flow.
I don't know about this shop, but I'm gonna get out of here before everything falls on top of me.
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's good. I'll follow you.
And I grab their wrist and start pulling out so she's safe.
As soon as you go outside, you are hit with this gust of wind, almost like sliding backwards on the wood itself of the board outside of the Tried and True. You're about like 2 rope bridges away from the main like where the sunny silkworm is, the main tree fort. I'm gonna call it a tree fort. The main deck, the main patio of this area. But the way Brackenmill is sort of set up is that it's almost a semicircle around the marketplace, the area of the farmer's market. Any tree will get you down to the ground. And as you are trying to take a look outside, fight off the wind, what would you like to do?
I think just kind of get my bearings on, is there anybody else around? If anything's looking like it's going to fall. And if it does, just kind of jump out of the way. Just getting ready to not get hurt.
You see a bough above you just kind of reel back before cracking and landing right next to
Look
you.
out!
As you try and brace yourself just against the wind, you can hear Nadi's voice almost being like ripped away as she's trying to yell out for you. This one big blast that you can feel ripple through the air underneath you and then calm. You sort of peek your head back up. Nadi kind of looks around. You can see some of the other citizens of Brackenmill starting to get to their feet in front of you. There is an older Strig who's helping up a young Hedge, just sort of looking around, just, what happened? What was that? What is going on? And in the middle, you see a group of 4 figures on the ground with this, a ring of flattened grass around them.
I'm going to work my way down to the group.
Looking somewhat familiar to you.
I don't think so. I don't think I'd met any of them
No?
before.
Okay. Nope, that's right.
Guys,
Looking very unfamiliar to you.
I think we need to get out of here. They're gonna want reparations. Look, one of them's coming at us right now. We have to go.
Mrs. Q, seeing someone approach, leaves the other 3 to continue hugging and being with, doing their thing.
Long hug.
That's how I hug.
But you've hugged like this.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, she just stands up and she doesn't like move from around the group, but she just stands and watches this person approach.
Okay.
I'm gonna rush towards them.
Okay.
As I rush fearfully towards them, and like slide in, you see this Vulpin, it's like a snow fox Vulpin, big gold rimmed glasses, like thin round glasses.
Bobby?
Pardon?
Bobby glasses?
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Okay, never mind.
Piercing ice blue eyes, as they say to you, you wouldn't happen to be Apoc, would you?
No.
Mrs. Rosemary. I only got a first name. Rosemary.
Mary. I go by Mary.
Mary. Sorry. My apologies, Mary. And then that means you must be Basil. Basil?
He kind of just like stops hugging and kind of like perks up, and he asks,
Who's asking?
yeah, essentially along the lines of that. It's like, and who are you?
Oh, sorry. Where's my manners? My name's Aurora.
Do we know that name, Aurora?
Sorry. Cam used to call me Arwin. I don't know if you ever know. Anyways, call me Aurora. Where's the owl folk?
Wait, what's going on? You show up right when Cam leaves.
This is not the time or the place to talk about it, but do you know where he went? I'm looking for him.
He does, but he won't tell us.
Basil?
So Basil kind of being flustered, the fact that Apoc is constantly just accusing him of something, will say, maybe you're right, we should find somewhere else to talk. and maybe he's looking around, he's seeing that like we're in the midst of like this a scene of destruction. I'm sure like people are like stirring and people are trying to figure out like what the heck's going on. We're in the center of it. So maybe he tries to like push the group to like, yeah, let's go somewhere else and talk. We should get out of here.
And then I'm gonna look down at the dove. Like, I'm pretty sure they were a lot bigger. You're not Dace, are you?
Mrs. Q turns to this gal, Vulpin person, and says, "You've caught us at a bit of a tender moment. There's clearly a lot of questions you have, and if you know Cam, then we have a lot of questions for you. But can you give us just a moment
Yeah,
to
sorry.
make sure that
My apologies. Like, life's all about finding those tender moments. So, and I stepped aside.
Mrs. Q gets down on her knees to look Elle in the face and try and determine where she's at. Are you okay?
Elle's looking a little spaced out. She's still crying. She's confused with someone running towards everyone, and she's kind of now just taking in what has happened around her, and she's almost kind of going into like a state of shock. She's just kind of mumbling, no, this can't happen again. No.
Sir Basil, hearing that, it's gonna come up to Mrs. Q and like almost in kind of like a very direct way. So maybe he'll like come up and like, or whoever he reaches up to, looking you straight in the face and saying, perhaps we really should get it.
Victory.
We really should get out of sight. There's a lot for us to talk about, but I don't think this is the place. Can we take Elle and find someplace more private with, and he kind of like nods his head, pointing to the Vulpin with him as well.
Mrs. Q looks from the Vulpin to Elle, back to the Vulpin, and then wants to do an inside check on the Vulpin to make sure this person is not trying to mislead us, because straight up, we are just believing everything she says.
Is it she or he?
She?
She, okay.
Go ahead and make an insight check. Aurora, you can make a deception or persuasion, whatever your choice is.
Persuasion.
Like the name sounds so familiar, but I can't recall why. Like I'm pretty sure Cam has mentioned, but
Basil, as this is going on, just for flavor for you, you are seeing people as you're looking around. You're seeing them helping other people up and starting to look around and starting to notice the epicenter, the flattened grass, this perfect circle with you all at the center. And you're starting to see Quill as he's helping people up and going around, taking a look at you from the upper bounds and starting to waddle his way towards you down the main trunk of the tree, kind of giving a wave. What were your rolls?
Cool.
28.
Pretty good.
so, I'll say Sir Basil at this point isn't going to care. He's just going to like kind of like start pushing them.
Mrs. Q does not like to be
Wait! Wait, don't. Are you all okay? What was that?
What do you want to say, Mrs. Q?
That is an
Are you
excellent
okay?
question. We were about to ask the same question. Has this happened in your town before?
Is anyone hurt? No, it has not happened in our town before. Is anyone hurt? Does anyone need healing?
I think
We have a couple healers on site. They can help. Are you all right?
We're all right.
Just a little shaken.
Elle, you okay?
Lass, are you? Wait, Elle?
Yeah,
Rookie,
Elle.
Elle?
She's
Are you all
still
right? Are you all right,
crying.
dear? Are you okay? Quill's going to kneel down and just kind of like reach out, hold his hands kind of in front of you, waiting for yours to come to his. Dear, do you need some tea? Whatever happened, it's all right. No one was hurt. Everyone's fine.
She gonna say anything?
She's just kind of in that, like, you know, when you've just cried a lot.
Yes.
She's just like a little dazed. And
Mrs.
just
Q,
still sad and
she's gonna kind of like intercede in between the
Don't
two.
mind me.
You just spat
No.
To like intercept between her hands and the hedge's hands, and just like sort of like grabs her by the shoulder, by the hands, or wherever she's at, and just says to the hedge, I've completely forgotten his name, sorry.
Quill.
Thank you. I would have remembered in game.
Yes, you would have.
It says, I think she's just a little shaken up by what's happened. Perhaps we can well, I think I'll take her back to our room in the sunny silkworm. I think she needs a rest. Perhaps but I'll send you word if she's in need of healing.
Yes, absolutely. Please do. We can help. We'll make our rounds. It seems like everyone's okay, but kind of viewing the grass that's been flattened. Just be careful, please. But get some rest, all of you. Get some rest, I guess.
It's in the house, right?
Sure, but we should have a bit of a chat later.
Later.
Hello there. Natty? No, you're not Natty. Sorry, my eyesight is not what it used to be.
Natty's my cousin.
Ah, I see the resemblance. Okay. Okay, all right. Go. And as he's going to kind of take usher you a little bit closer to the treehouse before everything's fine. Check on your neighbors. If anyone needs help, give me a shout. Where are you guys heading? As he's ushered all 5 of you, you included Aurora.
Yeah, I assume Sir Basil will kind of like go over to Aurora and say, like, best to join us as well. I think we have a lot to talk about.
Certainly, yeah.
You want a piggyback ride, Elle?
Oh, the pouty lip is so good.
All right, hop on the piggyback.
I don't.
Well,
good.
Yeah.
That's dumb, but I like it, so you get an inspiration.
Mrs. Q turns to Aurora and says, I think if we're gonna get some peace, we may need to go somewhere other than our accommodations. Do you have somewhere where we can chat?
I'm at your leisure. I just recently got to town. I haven't even found a place to settle in for tonight if I'm staying here.
Mrs. Q turns to the group and says, Quill in his good nature thinks we're heading to the sunny silkworm, but if you think we should be going somewhere else, speak up.
I have no secrets. I just don't want to be spilling all of our conversation to the whole town. This is a henwind village after all.
Yeah, the only places we've been are the inn where we stayed and where we drank, or the shops.
2 shops.
So not a shop or the spice shack. Rack. So that's the only place we can go.
I mean, we can also just go back to the sunny silkworm and use one of the rooms to chat.
But you're saying that you don't want to go back to the...
Well, you were making such a fuss.
I was saying that we should get out of public sight. Like, we're in the middle of like destruction. Like, we're clearly in the center of the place.
Yeah, okay. But anyway.
Do they always bicker like this, Apoc?
That was out of game. That was not our characters.
Always.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, how'd you know Cam?
Well, we were friends back in Alderheart. We actually met up not too long ago. He came for coffee. He was like up to his own shenanigans, stealing money from the magistrate or something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like him.
Anyways, he said you guys were heading to, what was it? Go see Pip. He was looking for Pip.
Sir Basil's ears speak up. You know Pip?
Yeah, we were friends again back in Alderheart before she left and Cam left. Seems like everybody left, and now I left. But
Don't worry, Elle.
everybody's gotta leave at some point.
Fresh tears just stream down her face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. But like, the only thing you can do is when someone leaves is find them, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the journey. That's how
you cry even harder.
That's how you go on adventures. And the only thing is, I got a message a few days after he dropped by the shop, and warned me that he was going to make some bad choices, and I've been kind of looking for him. I set out to try and find him to make sure he didn't, but where did he go? I need to find him.
Sir Basil, hearing that, is gonna kind of speak up and say, how do I want to do this? Because we're still just out in public right now, right?
Yeah, so at this point you're like climbing the staircase, you're turning the corner to get to the sunny silkworm, you're almost there.
Before we get to the sunny silkworm, I think Sir Basil is going to say to the group, there's something I need, like he'll kind of stop the group, hold on, there's something I need to tell you.
Please.
I need to tell you, actually, let me take you somewhere. And
Oh my god.
I should lead the group back to Nada's shop.
Missing persons, the first hour is the most crucial.
Sir Basil's just gonna say to Apoc, calm down. I will tell you everything I know, but just come with me. And he's gonna start walking towards Nada's shop.
Do you guys follow?
Oh yeah.
If Apoc does, Elle has to.
Oh, that's true. You're on piggyback.
It's like the kid is just like flopping around.
Yeah.
We just like hard stop 180.
Yeah. Turn around because you have to go back across the loop and kind of back across two of the rope bridges. You're seeing a bit of damage. Whoever's keeping an eye out as you go, there are some like window shutters that are off hinges, some doors, some signs that have been ripped off of their like mooring. I don't know if that's right. You see some kind of after like a windstorm, you see some branches that have been broken, but there is no structural damage. Nothing that is, the rope bridges still seem to be secure. They've swayed quite a bit, but there's no missing tiles. The ground is still, the fort itself is still intact. Elle, I just want to make sure your hand wasn't just up to say something, or
Nope, just
Okay,
circulating.
Great.
Just trying to get some feeling in it.
Yep.
Oh.
And easy enough, you're able to kind of make your way back to Nadi's shop. Aurora, you were just here. You don't see Nadi at this point, as you guys kind of got a little separated. But you do hear some clanging from the room above the shop.
I go invisible and go to look for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems like someone is here, likely her in the little apartment above her shop. But yeah, you are in Naughty's shop. Lots of stuff has fallen off the shelves here. Anything that wasn't tied down has seen a little better days.
Was this the magic shop?
This was the tried and true. It's like a
I think it's
like a pawn shop, vintage kind of trading sort of shop. But yeah, you're back.
Sir Basil kind of once we entered in the shop, he'll kind of turn to the group and just say, "There's something I have to tell you, and I haven't been truthful till now because I felt it was not my secret to tell." And then I'll say, because it's been, was it 2 nights ago that Cam met like
Yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday? Okay, so Sir Basil will say, yesterday, Cam came in contact with Nadi, the Vulpin who owns the store. And she told us that she had seen Pip. In fact, and he'll hold out like the receipt that he still possesses. She saw Pip alive yesterday, or yesterday while shopping. We came here, and he's gonna divulge to everyone just like everything that they learned that Pip and he's even gonna divulge possibly what's my other sister's name? The one who's missing. It's not Time, is it?
It's Time.
Yeah. Say Pip and possibly and maybe Time.
Maybe. Whoa. And maybe Time.
I don't know, but Pip and someone were traveling towards Eldahart.
You couldn't have told us this earlier.
It was not, as I said, by my knight's honor, it was not my secret to tell. It was between me and Cam. I gave him my word.
I'm gonna
I
punch
did not
you.
know that Cam would be. I do not know where Cam is, but I knew that he gave me his word that we would go together. So
you know he's gone there, right?
If Cam is really gone, I'm as in shock as you. And
He's gone. He left earlier.
And then he'll point at Aurora and you. If you are who you say you are, I don't know you, but I feel I can trust you. If you know Cam, then there has to be eating behind this.
I'm absolutely the most trustworthy person you're ever gonna meet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I cast locate object on what Cam was last wearing.
Okay.
Is he within 1,000 feet of me? Or
It's
is
1,000 feet.
Yeah.
I need to look that up in meters. I have no idea what 1,000 feet is.
Just
Like
above
3 feet
board.
is a meter.
Was Aurora the barista in Elderheart that he saw? Okay, I was like, no, I mean, I don't think Elle was there, but Steph knows that we've seen this person before. Okay.
Yeah. I remember the name, and I remember like, the exchange.
Aurora Winters, as they
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's gone. I can't sense him anymore.
Andrea, okay?
It's just dry in this house. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sir Basil will say, if he really left, then there's a good chance he went back to Elderheart to search for Pip.
Man, I just left Elderheart.
I don't know. What is it?
It just left Elderheart.
Yeah. I'm writing all this down, by the way. Like, you see Aurora basically holding a book with a quill with like a big pink feather on it, like a flamingo feather that she's using to write all this down.
So fun.
What do you guys have to
Mrs.
say?
Q asks, Why are you writing this down?
Well, if I'm gonna find him, I need to keep track of everything, and I'm not one to just kind of keep it all up here, if you know. So I keep my trusty book with everything everything I can remember, or all the stories I hear. I write them down. That way,
How many pages are in this book? Like, is it a big book?
Oh, it's thick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was picturing.
Yeah. So you see, I'm basically wearing this like long overcoat that shimmers like blues, purples, greens with like sparkles in it, kind of like the Aurora Borealis.
Right.
With like a purple shirt underneath and like black legging athleisure wear, and some like very polished, very clean boots. Everything is very like expensive. Yeah, expensive, clean, like design. Everything's designer.
I was hoping she would wear Uggs.
Uggs. Yeah, maybe. No, the brand.
Just Uggs and leggings is a whole vibe. So
Ugg bears.
Ugg bears.
Oh, jeez.
Mrs. Q looks at her ensemble and wants to like note if like do her clothes even look worn? Like does it look like she even traveled in them?
No, they're like spotless.
You said you traveled all the way from Alderheart and just arrived?
Well, I was on my way to the mountains because my clues said that you were up here. And then I got lost in the caves below the mountains, and then I picked up wind that you were headed to Cam was heading to Brackenmill, so I shifted my direction here.
Wait, who'd you get these clues from?
My friends.
That's not good enough.
Are you a spy?
And okay, so she has this orange. I think it's an orange bag on her belt. And as she like opens up the bag, and she pulls out a deck of cards. She's like, "My friends are right here, and they tell me where things are."
I want to burn another spell slot, Primeval Awareness.
What do you get to see?
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undeads.
I guarantee you're going to get one of those.
Is this fucker Petra?
Is this Petra? How could you imagine? You're getting some fiend. No, I'm kidding. Is it just for creatures or is it for...
Yeah, it's creatures.
It's creature types?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll leave that to you.
You're picking up undead.
Okay. This is not as long as it's not a fiend, Apoc isn't going to be worried.
But he's not worried about undead.
I was fine with yeah. We just came from the mountains where we had a fiend fighting us and disappear.
Do you know where it's? Do you know can you pinpoint it, or it's just around?
It's just around.
Just
That's
around.
what I was wondering.
Don't know the location or how many. But as you say, you were coming from the mountains. You just this exclamation mark appears above his head comically,
Please.
Yeah, the fleas.
Elle's like, what the hell?
Hey, little girl, did you want to talk to my friends?
What I would like to know is what laundry detergent do you use?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I tell you something, my friend. My petticoat has seen better days.
Well, that's okay. You've been out on the road.
So have you. That's what I want to know. How did you
part of my morning routine. I need to make sure everything is prim and proper. If I'm going to be representing the winters out in the world, out in Everden, I gotta be looking my finest.
Representing the who's?
The winters.
Aurora Winters.
My family.
I see. Are they a prominent family? Should I have heard of them? I live in a very backwater place.
If you're anybody,
how Mrs. Q responds to that.
Ooh.
She says, well then, I guess I'm somebody and not an anybody.
Okay. Just we among other things we run the Trunk Hole Trunk Hole Brothers Cafe in Alderheart. Because I think Andrea said it was a trunk hole cafe.
Sure. I'll make it happen.
You seem particularly concerned for Cam.
Well, like I said, my friends told me he was in danger, and I felt that I was the only one that can go save him.
How come your friends didn't tell you more?
Well, I can only get so much, and they're telling me more every time I check in with them. But Cam's a bit of a shifty, moving target.
Well, I cannot deny that to be true.
But you guys seem
lies to his friends. You'll hear Elle like kind of whisper that. She's gone from sad to pissed.
And Aurora kind of leans down. It's like, yeah,
I'm sitting on Apoc still, so you'll have to look up.
Yeah, he's bad like that, but he means well in the end.
Can you tell us exactly what it was that your card's friends told you?
Well, they told me he was traveling with a Mary, an Apoc, and a Basil. They were a little fuzzy there. And then a Dace character, but I'm sorry, I don't think through this conversation and context clues, I don't think you're Dace.
Elle's gonna deflect and just. Master Waira has friends just like that too. Can I see them?
Sure. And I hand her my deck of cards.
Elle's gonna cast Detect Magic. She wants to tell if these are magical.
Are they magical, Aurora?
They are not.
Because I'm in the tried and true, is there anything else that's hanging magic around me? Probably a lot of shit.
So, yes. So there is whatever is kind of on your persons. I think Basil has a couple magical items. So does Mrs. Q. Apoc has a couple as well. You notice something in Apoc's bag that's giving off some... because you know the school, right? I guess I can just do this.
Yeah, I learned at school, if anything. And I would notice that because I'm still sitting on what I imagine on top of his bag. I don't really know how I'm on his back right now. I'm just like shoulder riding, I'm guessing.
I mean, you can kind of look around because it's not really blocked by anything. Like, it's not blocked by fabrics. You would notice that there is some enchantment coming from Apoc's bag among the things that you've seen before, because you have cast Detect Magic a couple times now. You also notice that there is something in your pocket that you are unfamiliar with. As for the tried and true, let me see what is going on. It's a little bit of a mess. So you are getting pings, but you might not actually see what the ping is from.
I was going to say, you will also notice that my overcoat, the perfectly brilliant, the Aurora Borealis, it actually is shimmering and moving like the Aurora Borealis as you look at it, as it is enchanted. I have something on my hip, almost like I don't know, give it away yet. It's like a long, not a scabbard, or what's the thing that you wrap a sword in on your belt?
Yeah.
Sheath.
A sheath.
Like a sheath on my hip that's giving off necromancy, and you also notice something floating around, just around me, like little dot, just kind of, but you can't see normally.
A little star.
A little dot. You also get some pings from around, so that's not there anymore. You get a ping from under one cabinet on the far side. You get a ping of, and what would it be? It would be, you get a ping of enchantment, although you can't quite see what it is. You get you get a ping of transmutation, from what looks like a butter cookie tin kind of tossed almost under the, like the main counter area, the desk area here. You get a strong sense of necromancy from what looks like a very buffed leather suitcase. And you also get a ping of illusion, but that's kind of like there's one shelf that's been bolted to the wall that's still standing. It's on the bottom shelf underneath. You also get a fairly substantial view of the painting above the desk at the back as being super magical. You get a strong sense of transmutation. You get a strong sense of enchantment. You get a little bit of illusion, as it kind of looks like the painting itself with your lens of detect magic on is almost kind of moving and breathing. The colors seeming too bright and too dark all at the same time. You also get a little bit of divination
from the painting as well.
From the painting, there's multiple things going on with this painting, but it is the brightest thing in this room.
With the cards in her hand, Elle's gonna slip off of Apoc. Pack sack. The pack sack.
The APAC
and she's
sack.
gonna look down at the pack sack. She's gonna look down at the cards. Would these cards be familiar? I would be familiar with tarot at the very least, with druid stuff.
Yeah, it's a tarot deck.
Yes.
Very special tarot deck.
They don't seem that special.
Well, everything's special depending on the point of view. So if it's not special to you, that's okay. I'm sure there's things that are special to you that I might not know by, and I want you to make sure that those stay special.
How do these help you find us?
Well, if you've got a second, I can show you.
Master Railroad would do cards. I don't really know if I believe in it.
It's okay. Most people I meet don't. But the ones that do can hopefully do some good.
If it'll help in our adventure, then sure, show us how it works.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. So I pull off. So this card's about Cam and how we're going to find him.
That's pretty good.
And let's see. Well, this isn't too uncommon. So, and then as you see me draw the card, while the magic doesn't come with the deck, you start to see if your detect magic's still going, you can start to see more of those dots start to swirl around me. And more of them start to pop in, almost like from your perspective with like seeing magic, you see like the stars shimmer around. Everybody else, you don't see anything. You just see me draw a freaking card. What's that? Yeah, so this is one of the concerns that, like, did Cam ever see someone like maybe like me, like a fortune teller that told him kind of what to do or choices he had to make?
There was a fortune teller at a fair we went to once. Knowing Cam, he probably went and spoke to her.
Well, pulling the idiot card, I dropped it, represents that what he is doing is the opposite of, or whatever he was told before is the opposite of what he should be doing. So if he's following the advice of a fortune, it's the wrong choice and usually leads to, and then I draw another card, and it's the moon. And the moon, where is it? The moon represents, it's a representation of kind of leaving those that care for you in a never-ending journey, like a runaway, leaving home, like where if you don't know, like the moon being part of the world left to take orbit, never to come back, is just stuck away. So following the wrong decision leads to kind of being stuck on a path to nowhere.
Can I clarify something that you said? Out of game. Did you say that the first card meant that he heard a fortune and followed the fortune, but it was the wrong fortune?
Yeah.
Like
he took bad advice.
Okay, got it. Okay, back in game.
I don't know. I don't remember him going to a fortune teller, but he did say something about Eddie and listening to some. He didn't sound good, but someone was telling him to hurt people.
Pulls out my quill and starts writing these notes down. This is great.
Yeah. Something to do with something in Twilight. I don't know.
Okay. Good to know. And writing these notes, like this is all new information. So if you're looking for Cam, I'm doing the same thing. We could help each other out.
Wait, do fortune tellers normally only draw 2 cards?
Well, it depends on how much information you want to find. I can keep drawing if you'd like.
Sure.
Just want to check in. Did we want to take a 5-minute break before we start pulling cards? Or are we doing good to just keep going?
I'm gonna grab some water, but I'm okay if we don't take a break. Either way, I'm good.
We can take a quick break. I'd like some tea here before we start drawing cards. I'm going to pause you there. realized the first time I said that we were on mute, and there just kept being costume talks over top. I'm like, okay, I'll let them keep going.
I made a tiny horse boys joke and Eric didn't say anything.
Yeah. But we will jump right back in with Aurora. She is about to pull another card for Apac's curiosity.
Apex. So I pull the next card, and you just see if a snow fox could blush, a snow fox would blush, and it's the Uriel card, which this tells me that taking Cam's place would be someone that kind of falls in love with like the space, the group, it speaks of walking into a situation of beguilement. That's what the card says.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop pulling cards now, I think.
This may seem like a unfair question, but the initial card you pulled suggested that Cam may be following bad fortune telling. How do we know that your fortune telling is the good kind?
You don't, but it's all I have.
Wait, if I'm following this right, it's good fortune telling until somebody else does a fortune about you and pulls that?
What?
No, more along the lines that the fortune teller that Cam saw had ill intentions and was driving him astray. I don't have ill intentions. So.
Okay.
With your, how long does your detect undead thing last?
A minute.
Yours is long over. Elle's is about 10 minutes, and I think you're probably just reaching the end of it.
Yeah, you can start to see those little dots fade away as the reading ends.
Yeah, that doesn't seem too strange to Elle. Again, she's been around magic before, so she doesn't think to say anything of it. She's gonna, after hearing the idiot card and the moon card, more hearing about a path being taken away from home to maybe never go back, she's gonna kind of start to wander. She's gonna use little gusts of wind to kind of clean up debris and pick up things that fell. She can't mend anything, but she'll try to like put things together so they look like they're fixed back onto shelves.
Now every 12 months cleans.
Exactly, yeah. If there's a rug, there's dust going under it somewhere.
Perfect.
But she's gonna kind of make her way towards the cookie tin.
The cookie tin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotta find it. Okay. So you make your way over to the cookie tin. You go to, you have to kind of like move a couple things aside. It's like half under a shelf. But as you do, you pick it up and it is it's an aluminum cookie tin that everybody has in their home.
The Danish cookies.
Yeah. On the cover, you see something written in a language that you don't really understand. It's just got a couple scribbles to you. But you see the picture of cookies. There's one circular one that kind of looks like it's been piped. There's one that looks like there's chocolate on one side and cookie on the other. And there's another that looks like a little bit oblonged, almost like a marquee shape with like a little cherry, a little piece of candied fruit right in the middle. You can kind of like shake it. It sounds like there's something in it. What do?
She's gonna think, ooh, cookies, just like Mrs. Q has. And she's gonna open it.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
12.
12.
12 cookies.
You open up the cookie tin expecting to see cookies, and you see a collection of sewing needles, threads, yarns, safety pins, normal pin. Like you just see a whole notions box in this cookie tin.
Foiled again.
I remember
Even
this
look
was
at-
one of the items that your detect magic didn't hang.
That's why she's a little, what? So if nobody's looking, she's gonna try to stick it in her bag.
The bad streak in you.
I'll just make a stealth check. Let's just see. Because everybody's a little preoccupied at the moment. You can all contest it with a perception if you want. If you're that concerned with what Elle is doing.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a perception check. You see her wander off. It's just a matter of whether you actually watch what she's doing.
I don't think this room is that big either.
It's
from
not.
What I'm, no.
Yeah, like roll.
8.
Well, 17 total.
Boom.
Shoves it in your bag with no one the wiser. Mrs. Q, you just look away for a brief second as Elle takes her moment. Does anyone else want to do anything at this point in the shop? You do start to hear some of the rustlings sort of, instead of just clanging, start to move kind of around. There's some floorboards creaking from the apartment above the shop itself.
So where are we going? Are we going back to Alderhard? Or are we going to the Avium? Which one has Cam?
Mrs. Q turns to Aurora and says, "What do your cards suggest we do?"
Draw another one.
She said, Mrs. Q says this in a very skeptical tone because she's also not like digging it, but is trying to be open-minded.
I think it says listen to a knight. Do we know any knights?
No, we're not listening to Knights anymore.
Apoc.
APAC.
Wow.
What's that? What card is it?
The knight card.
Oh, it's a duck.
It is a duck.
Wasn't it definitely some night with like the pointy helmet?
Oh, it looks like a duck to me.
One of those ink blots.
Wait. Draw one more card. If it's the idiot, we don't listen to him.
So, okay, Apoc, I'm going to tell you this once, that I don't just pull cards at random.
Well, that's all you've done so far. It's kind of fun.
I have to wait for the moment to be right, and I'll pull them as I see fit.
Okay.
If you force a card draw, that's how messy things happen.
Okay, I'm not going to force it. But we're going to sit here. We're going to remember this moment. And the next time you draw a card, if it's the idiot, then we have to change what we're doing.
You do you. I will listen to my friends as they are channeled through this deck to me.
I can respect that.
So
I wish no ill will on you.
Basil.
I'm just a little bit mad.
All right, Basil, what should we do?
You really need to correct it, man.
The name is Basil.
Oh, sorry. For some reason, it's always just fuzzy whenever I was trying to figure out who is with them. So, Basil, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Okay. Do I get the sense that and tell me what unless your rolls on the cards, but I'm wondering like how truthful is Aurora being right now? Like is this just like I don't know. I as the group, do we trust Aurora?
Aurora.
Aurora.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You don't have to trust me, but my cards say we should listen to you. So I'm putting a lot of faith that you will lead us in the right direction, Sir Knight.
You can roll an insight check, Basil. There's been a couple insight checks on Aurora. You can roll one more for your gut feeling.
22.
22.
Yeah, I'm being as honest as possibly can be. There's not a shred of deception in here.
Okay. Sir Basil is gonna think about it, and knowing that the last card was drawn, like pressure's on him, and some people in the group are being hostile towards him. He's gonna say, I know that by withholding my knowledge, I broke your trust. By my knight's honor, I will do what it takes to earn it back. But I'm telling the truth when I say I believe Cam went towards Elderhunt.
At this point, you hear, oh, go ahead, Basil.
I believe he went to find Pip.
As soon as you finish that sentence, or at the end of your sentence, you hear a clang, clang, clang. Ouch! Oh, stupid thing. I have to figure out where this goes on the shelf. As you see Nadi kind of walking down the stairs behind the counter itself. And sorry, Aurora, am I interrupting something?
We're in your place. There's no interruptions. If we're interrupting you, we can talk outside, but if there's anything we can help with.
Just cleaning. Sorry.
Did you need a hand? I can help clean.
No, it's all clean upstairs. It's okay. Here. It's fine. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
I cleaned a little.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think it's mostly my fault, so I thought I'd help.
Why is it your fault? It was a windstorm. A freak windstorm.
I'm not a freak.
You're not a windstorm either.
Just gonna hop and just walk away.
Sir Basil will say, apologies. We felt we needed someplace to go to get out of all the commotion that happened, and your shop was the first place I thought of.
Yeah, sure. That's just totally fine. Stay as long as you want. I'll go upstairs. No problem. Stay. We're good. Just
Natty,
please don't take anything.
Well, that was going to be my next question. It sounds like we're going to be I'm going to be continuing my journey, and this fine group here is going to be leading me to try and find that boy I was talking about.
Right.
I was just wondering, is there anything that we could borrow, take, keep? You could put it on Pop's tab. Sorry, you could put it on Poppy's tab.
Poppy. Because we got no money.
Well, I know I sold you, pointing at Basil, or I think I traded for the boots. That would have been the coolest thing. Somewhere in this mess, she says as she looks around. I mean, you might be interested, Aurora, or at least, he would, but there's this die where whatever number you want it to roll, it rolls. That's somewhere. I don't think that's gonna help on an adventure. Oh, there's a ring of invisibility, but you don't actually get to choose when you go invisible. It's kind of random. I don't know if that's gonna help. As she kind of looks around, she looks back up towards the painting. Then there's that. That's what he was looking for. That's what you came in to see, right?
Yes.
Wait.
And then Basil will say, Pip painted that.
what kind of magic did Pip study? Because that thing is super magical.
Sir Basil say, I don't know.
There's also this. She pulls up the leather suitcase. No idea what's in it or how to open it.
I poke the latch.
There is no latch. There is a handle, but absolutely no
be careful.
seam, no hinges.
It's the same kind of bad magic as Petra. Right?
It's a fiend?
As the thing inside of Ajax is the last time you saw
the thing
something.
inside of Ajax. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Haven't had a chance to open it yet. Well, that's a lie. I've tried to open it. Didn't open. And then I was told that it was cursed. And then the windstorm happened. So that's kind of where we're at. If you wanted Aurora, you might be able to figure out what it is and what's in it, but as long as if it's something cool, you bring it back. I'd like to know. Oh, wait! I have the thing he traded for me! Where did it go? It was a little ring about yay big, weighed a lot, but not when it was worn. Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere.
Well, chances are it's on the ground.
Yeah. Just look for a big dent. I left a dent in my floor.
It didn't fall on you, did it?
No, it like just missed. It was weird.
Okay, he has this weird game he likes to play.
If you can find it, it's yours. I don't know if that's going to be any use to you, but a lot of stuff is just trinkets.
I take a look. Do I see it or a dent on the hole?
Make a perception check.
14.
14. You see the big dent in front of the counter where it originally fell. You do see. Where would it be? Yeah, actually, this will be good. You see off to one side one of the shelves that looks like it's been pushed up against the wall but not anchored to it. The top half of that shelf looks really rough. There are like the shelves are kind of off kilter a little bit. Part of it is kinked outwards. But in the corner on the bottom of the shelf itself, you see the ring that you found with Cam, the ring of weight.
I go over and seeing Cam put it on before I just slip it on.
Comes up, no problem.
You sure we can just take this?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna charge Aurora's Poppy for it.
Is that fine?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He buys me whatever I want.
All right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's getting kind of late, and I would like to, maybe try and lock my door, at least like fix it so it's on its hinges and everything. I might get Fleer to help me with that. Do you have a place to stay?
You let us stay here. I can fix that for you.
Naughty kind of looks around. So it's kind of just like a bedroom for one upstairs and this place. You all seem great, but I have no idea who you are. I'd rather you not stay here.
Maybe
That's
that's
fine.
That's fair.
We really appreciate that you let us use your space for our very important conversation.
Well, to be fair, I didn't really know you were here, but you're welcome.
Oh.
That tracks.
Perhaps we can plan to stay at the Silkworm and maybe try and head out very early in the morning before we get barraged with questions. Alternatively, Miss Quillam says, when no one else responds, is we can gather our things now and sleep on the road.
there horses here?
Elle,
You hold that thought one sec, Elle. There are farms here in the city proper, or the perch of Brackenmill. You haven't really there's not like a stable around
No.
here, but there are farms in the outskirts. You could go looking for one.
Could get a horse.
Too late to barter for a horse. I don't want to just take someone's horse in the middle of the night and not pay them or have permission. So I'm okay hoofing it ourselves.
Don't have hoops.
Footing it, pawing it,
Yeah.
designer ugging it.
Basil would just nod as if he's like, I'm in agreement with that. I would do that as well, kind of thing.
Excellent. How much did people leave at the Silkworm?
I assume I left nothing.
yeah,
Do we need to talk to the bandits or are we just leaving that whole thing?
I don't know. We want to try and get an reward.
Ajax and Ceridian are still here.
Mm-hmm.
We're staying the night. We might want to track them down.
Mm-hmm.
Elle, was there something you had wanted to say?
Yeah, while this conversation is going on, she's gonna move and stand in front of the painting. By now her detect magic is gone, but does she still see some of the illusion with the colors moving still? Would she still see that?
Yeah. So as the conversation that this is going on and will continue on in a moment is kind of turning into a drawl out behind you, you focus in on the painting. And before, with your detect magic, the painting looked alive and vivid. It was breathing, is the best way that you can describe it. And as you're looking at this painting, this perfectly smooth kind of purple black gossamer lake with tendrils sort of wrapping out of it, sewn in, woven with gold thread to the scene of an emerald forest, woven into the outer scenes of this painting. The longer you look, the more vivid it becomes. It's almost like the longer you look, the more it becomes alive and matches almost what you saw with your detect magic. Although if you focus on the lake in the middle, your peripheral almost sees the trees, the greens, the emeralds start to grow. But as soon as you focus on the greens, they stop, and the purple itself in your periphery starts to sort of shape and extend past that golden threading. It's alive where you're not looking, and it gives this very odd feeling of peace and comfort, but a little bit unsettling, if that's the right word, where a painting is supposed to be a painting, and this is not. And in the very bottom corner, you see in very, very tiny brush strokes a sword that's been painted in and 2 golden rings that's been intertwined and painted in. Very small in the corner as you're staring at it.
Elle's gonna keep staring at the painting, but kind of say over her shoulder, Sir Basil, do you recognize this place? Is it somewhere Pip would have been or seen?
I assume no, correct?
You didn't go here on a family vacation?
No, it doesn't look familiar. And I assume I'll walk away from the group and walk towards Elle. But one thing I notice, and they'll point to the sword, and they'll say, "That's the sword I carry now." And he'll say, I'm not too sure what these rings are, but everything else in the photo, it doesn't bring back any memories.
It looks kind of scary.
It's odd, almost as if my eyes are playing tricks on me when I look at it.
Is this the kind of adventure you would go on? To kill monsters and go to dark forests and save people?
If it means saving people and protecting others, the knight goes where he's needed.
Are you ever scared when you're trying to save people?
So Basil will kind of pause, but then we'll just like look up at Elle and say, a knight, yeah. Knowing when to act even in the face of fear is what a knight must do.
I'm gonna nod and just say, sometimes when I'm scared, I don't always know what's happening around me. And that's scary too.
That's why we have each other.
Oh.
She's gonna kind of smile. She's gonna reach over and take his hand. And she's gonna say again, I'm scared. And she's gonna reach out with her other hand toward the sword and the rings. She wants to touch the painting.
Yeah. So it's hanging just above the desk itself, but on your tiptoes, kind of reaching, using the desk as leverage, you're able to reach out and touch the canvas itself. It's canvas. It's paint on canvas. You rub your hand along it, you can feel the brush strokes, you can feel where the paint is thicker, where it's thinner. You like rub your fingertips over the gold threading that threads the different scenes together, this kind of continuous stitching between the different layers of this painting. And it's raised. It's almost like it's bumped out or 3D from the painting itself as you kind of go up and down the seam itself. Nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary. The one thing you do notice is that the sword and the rings are the one thing that no matter where you're focused to have them in your peripheral, they are still. They don't live on this painting.
Interesting.
Just say, huh, I really thought we were gonna get sucked in.
Wait, what?
Well, that's what happens in all my books.
We got to get you different books.
That's great. That's great.
That would have been awesome though if that happened.
That would have been great. I'll write that down for next time.
Like, I'm not going in by myself. I'm taking some with me.
Hey, Aurora. Can you make them leave, please? I really want to go to bed.
Yeah, certainly. Everybody, get out.
Are you staying with us or with her?
I think she included me in that, but I figured if I would go too.
Okay.
I don't have to, I'm obviously not staying with you guys at the Silkworm, but I can stop in for a pint.
I mean, you don't have to be so obviously not staying with us.
I have a place if worst comes to worst, but
You have a place here too?
oh, I have a place wherever I go.
That's a good. I should put that on a poster.
That's how the other half live.
You have a place wherever you go.
You're welcome to stay with us, Aurora. We're not going to cast out a new friend, especially one who is trying to help us find our friend.
Yeah, and if there's anything else I can help with, it sounds like you've got business in town. Like I've been chasing after Cam for weeks, and slowly getting closer, but it's not like I'm in a rush. The cards tell me I have time, so I'm going to take it. So if there's business you need to do, don't let me get in the way.
I assume we leave the
We
store.
leave. I think we've been standing here deliberating for too long.
Nay, thank you for your patronage. Bye.
If there was nothing left at the silkworm,
That we wanted to do, you mean?
no, like we didn't leave anything there. Did we pay?
It's on the tab.
Yeah, it was comped.
On Poppy.
What?
Nope.
No, I think was it Quill or was it somebody gave us the room for one night? Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, okay. We did
sorry.
we did have one night for free. Okay. Wow.
Mhm.
Thrifty. I guess we can plan to find a place to camp outside of town. Unless we plan to do anything else tonight.
Wait. Do we want to stay in the beds? They said we had the beds tonight if you wanted.
It depends whether you want us to potentially get barraged with questions in the morning before we get a chance to leave. I thought
Well, do we
everyone wanted to not go back to the silkworm. That's why
I wanted to talk to Ceridian.
Okay.
Do you want to go find them right now?
What time is it?
So it's getting a bit later. Like just thinking the chaos that had happened. If it matters for anybody, you do get like a short rest while you were chatting in the shop. If it matters for anybody at all, I don't think it does, but you're getting into kind of the early evening-esque. So it's starting to get dark. It's twilight out here. If you're setting out, you only have, maybe an hour or two that you can travel before you'd have to stop for the night. As you're kind of out along the rope bridges, you can see that, just setting the scene, people have kind of calmed down. Doors are put back on their hinges. There's been a couple hours worth of work out here as you've been chatting, trying to deliberate and figure out. It just seemed like Nadi is not the most organized person, and has definitely left the maintenance of her shop until a little later than everybody else out here in Brackenmill. So it's looking a little cleaner. Someone has kind of swept any debris away, trimmed any loose branches. They, as a community, they've gotten some work done pretty quick. Even the ground zero where Elle had flattened all of the grass around her, it looks like someone had gone and just started raking the grass in the opposite direction to start putting it back up, as it's not completely flat anymore. A couple tables have been set up in the main area. The lanterns around are starting to just kind of glow with a very, very calming yellow hue. Not quite fire, as this is a tree hut, but you get the sense that it's the equivalent of a very low burning sort of street lamp that's kind of lighting up your way as you go along the rope bridges. A couple people you pass are, crazy day. So good to see you're all right. So good to see you're all right, and just kind of pass you by. Where are we headed, group? Or sorry, where are we headed, humble buddies?
If we're trying to find Ceridian, we just need to figure out how to find her.
I can do that.
All right.
You can. That's very useful. If I only had someone that could locate things.
Yeah, it's a little trick that you pick up when you're out in the prowl for quite some time.
Yeah, you'll have to show me someday.
Sure. I just focus on. She had an eye patch, right?
She had a bandana.
Bandana, that's what it was.
She also had a super magical sword.
Yeah, okay. We should probably have the sword on her more than she'd have the bandana. I'll focus on the sword and cast locate object.
Okay.
Is it within 1,000 feet?
Ceridian.
And you you see Apoc just kind of like, I'm trying to think of what he would do. It's just like the fleas all around him just start scattering and like pointing in a direction. And he follows the fleas.
So like a runway strip where they're like doot, doot, doot,
Pretty
doot,
much,
doot.
yeah. Just like
You need to take a bath.
yeah, I've tried.
So as your fleas, as you channel this magic through your fleas, and you get an idea focusing on Brenna Ceridian's sword, you get a direction of north. So kind of where you last saw her yesterday evening. It has been 24 hours. You get this direction pointing north, and you do get to know the movement, right?
Yep, if they're moving. Are they moving?
So it seems like they are coming your way.
Oh. They're that way. Let's go.
Here we go.
How far away are they?
So they're definitely within 300 meters. They're
We see them?
probably split the distance. So it is getting a little bit dark. It's harder to see. You do pass Quill as you are heading down the main trunk, and he's kind of like, make sure you come back and rest up. Still like to have a little bit of a chat, please.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
We never saw him again.
The lights of the town, they're in the treetops, but they're also kind of in the surrounding area, as surrounding this whole town is some orchards here and there, so farms are kind of lighting the way as well for you. But it is sort of lit up a little bit because they are facing plain. So giving them a little bit of a heads up should anything come their way from the plains. But as you walk, it is not very long. You're maybe only walking for like 3-4 minutes before you see the figure of Brenna Ceridian heading towards you, followed closely by Ajax and 2 shorter figures that you can't quite make out at this point.
As we approach, Mrs. Q turns to Aurora and says, "You're jumping in a little late on this particular storyline of ours. So for the sake of simplicity and a lack of time to explain it fully, you may want to let us do the talking."
Yeah, by all means. Did you need me to like keep out of sight?
I already see you.
That's fine. They're cool. They're cool.
Don't have to shout.
Well, I can go wait over there, and I'll.
All right.
Just melt into the corner.
You guys are still alive.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a win for us.
you sound surprised.
You never know.
As she's coming into view, you do see that she's still wearing her armor, sword is still on her hip. Ajax, a little bit farther away, kind of comes in on her left, he's looking a little better since you last saw him, standing up a little straighter. The shield is missing from his arm, because I think Basil still has it. But he's definitely kind of got a little bit of some straighter shoulders this go around. The 2 figures walking up on the other side, you see a robed figure standing as tall as she can, but does not quite reach the height of Brenna Ceridian. A white peahen, who you recognize as Speaker Bitta. On her opposite side, so on her right, kind of tailing, sort of the same way Ajax is tailing Ceridian, you see a strake about the same height as the peahen, just a little bit shorter, a little bit broad across the chest, who is wearing a like silver armor plated with bronze across the breastplate, wearing a helmet with a one of their own string feathers out of the top. There is a shield kind of across their back with an emblem of 2 wings spread wide, and a short sword on their hip. The You gather the one guard that they were allowed, that Speaker Bitta was allowed to bring. She kind of looks at you all. Only 4.
I curtsy and bow my head, just,
There's kind of 5.
Don't recognize her.
Speaker
Ceridian
Bitta?
kind of squints and nods.
Speaker Bitta? Oh, Ceridian, sorry.
So the speaker is talking. Ceridian is kind of nodding in agreement, just like, yeah, don't recognize her. Can I help you, dear?
Oh, so sorry. I recognize you, but I'm sorry. It's not my place to speak, but you know my father.
All right.
Wait.
Where's your 4th? 5th. Sorry, 5th.
He's scouting the way back to Alderheart.
Returning already?
What it seems like.
It's when Cam appears out of nowhere and stabs her.
Yeah.
Hang on, sorry. Wouldn't there have been?
She would have been like, "Where's Dace?" as well. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, because she knew you, Elle, but you left with Dace as well. Only 4 of 6.
Mountains are perilous.
And friends lie, apparently.
Oh, I'm no stranger to that, unfortunately, but yes, dear, they do. I'm sorry. This was all for this. She looks over at Ceridian and just kind of gestures. It was not in vain. I promise you that.
Good news?
Looks up at Ceridian. Ceridian kind of looks down. Seems like we are fighting an enemy we know nothing about, and we can at least agree on that. So yeah, good news.
Glad to hear it.
Mrs. Q, who doesn't normally get like this kind of excited, is like very pleased.
Looking over at Aurora and looking at the speaker, wasn't there a fox next to you in the chamber last time we met? An Arctic fox? I thought you in the council chamber.
No, Poppy's not on the council.
He's not in the room? It's not the same one?
He's usually never in the room where it happens.
Okay.
He makes a point of that.
There was an Arctic fox there.
Was it an Arctic fox?
Yes. These are my notes from that session.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
There you go. I mean,
An Arctic fox is like, is this a deep cut?
maybe.
Is that Poppy?
Like, they definitely know each other. I forgot that part.
There was our scribe,
Yeah.
but she is not.
Poppy.
No.
Okay. Poppy's Loop Vulpin for something?
I think I've come in at a odd point in this conversation.
Sorry, I don't know.
We're heading back into Brackenmill for the night. Probably continuing, I guess, tomorrow morning. Brenna Ceridian kind of nods. You see Ajax nod as well over to his counterpart, who gives kind of a stern click of his beak. Kind of gives a nod back. Are you leaving?
Unless there is anything we can do to help in the deliberations, then we have other pressing business.
There's certainly pressing business, but From the tenders. They're sending an envoy to Alderheart upon your request to look into Ashborough.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you could, if you do choose to stay in Brackenmill, we can speed up the process back to Alderheart. I don't know how much longer these talks are going to take, but we can't afford to be away from the Tree City much longer, so.
Teleport? Like fast?
Something similar, yes.
Enough for all of us?
Enough for all of us. Ceridian, you as well, if you choose to come to the Tree City at the time, but based on our talks, it seems that you may need to accompany those supplies back to your troops before you make any move to the city. And Ceridian kind of just nods, sort of moves her bandana. Yeah. Need to get everybody out so we don't get attacked again in a place we can't defend. Be nice to have a... Can't believe I'm saying this. Be nice to have a drink with you all. So thank you for getting us this far.
Listen, I don't know about the rest of these guys, but I don't know if any of us can afford drinks. We're a little strapped for cash.
Ceridian kind of just looks over at the speaker, just sort of. I assume a thank you is in order, and perhaps a discussion as well. Should you be interested? Otherwise, you can take the very slow road back to Alderheart.
Take him up on the offer.
Elle, you want another drink?
That's what people do when they're sad, right? I couldn't even get that out without laughing.
Pour one down for our old friend.
Darkest timeline Elle, right?
Jeez.
Elle grows a goatee.
Hey, you can be a villain or a hero.
Oh. I think a drink and a chat would be a great way to end today. If anybody asks, my name is Mary. This is Rookie. This is Finn. And Apoc here is
Copa.
You have told half the people in Brackenmill your real names and the other half your fake names. Like, come on, guys.
in our defense, we started really strong.
You see the speaker kind of look up at Ceridian, who is just like, not even gonna ask. Not even gonna ask. Great. I'm just going to refrain from using names. That's fine.
And also, we did cause a slight meteorological disturbance. They may ask about that too. But we're not going to answer any questions.
Right. She looks over her shoulder. Riffin, I think it's time we're off the clock. To which the Strig kind of gives a nod, sort of, kind of takes off his helmet, puts it under his arm, hand on his sword. Well, we'll follow you to follow you back to Brackenmill then. I would like Elle. Nope, not you, Elle. Mrs. Q, Basil, and Apoc. You're the only three left. I'd like you to make me a insight check. We'll make this insight.
Nice roll.
Nice.
19.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Also dirty 20.
Hey.
Ooh.
Okay, all three of you. As soon as the Strig takes off his helmet, you immediately recognize him as the Strig from the council chambers when you were during your interpretive dance, telling the council about the fires of Ashborough. It's the same Strig.
Oh, okay.
What did the Strig do?
He was just keeping watch.
He was there listening to your story of the burning of Ashborough, and when you imparted that knowledge, he got up and left.
Yeah, he left in a panic.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
To the Sunny Silkworm,
Yes.
Yeah.
lead the way.
Now you look like a true knight.
Apoc.
Oh my.
That
God.
is enough. My
Yeah.
word.
Yes.
Sir Basil just goes.
Okay. Speaker, if you don't mind. And as the speaker walks forward, the Strig Riffin stays one pace behind and just to her right, hand on the hilt of his sword as you make your way back to Brackenmill. It is 10 o'clock, and I think we will end there for tonight.
Cool. Whew. Great session.
Nice.
Mhm.
Welcome, Aurora.
I know.